Hello, my name is Nora Silva, and today we are going to talk about the simple past. First of all, we need to know that we use this tense to talk about actions that happened to us at a specific time in the past. That means before this moment. We also need to know that to talk about this form, we have two types of verbs, the regular ones and the irregular ones. The regular end with D or ed. For example, visited, walked, talked, shaved. The irregular form completely changes from the base form to the simple past. For example, see, saw, eat, ate, have, have. As you can see, sometimes it's not even that different. However, we need to know that they don't follow a specific rules as the regular verbs. Now, let's take a look at the affirmative form. Last year, I went to France with my friends. We visited the Eiffel Tower. My friend Sarah ate typical food. As you can see, we have the verbs in different color here. And also, you will see that these verbs are in simple past because the sentence is in affirmative form. So that means the structure to create this type of sentences is the subject, the verb in past, and the complement. Those are the only necessary things that we need to use when talking in simple past in affirmative form. Quite simple, right? Now, what about the negative form? Well, let's have a look. I didn't go up the Eiffel Tower. My friends and I didn't eat escargots. We didn't have time to go to the Louvre Museum. What can you see here? What can you observe? Do you see that we have a word in common? This word is called an auxiliary. We use the auxiliary did when we are talking in negative form. This auxiliary is going to help us to use the negative form. But what happens to the verb? Go, eat, and have. As you can see, these verbs are not in the past anymore. This is because we are using the auxiliary did. So whenever we have this auxiliary, the verb changes to the base form. This means that we are not going to use the verbs in past as we saw before. And so what is the structure? The structure is the subject plus the auxiliary did and the negative not. As you saw in the examples, we had the contraction, which is didn't. Sometimes the contraction is much more popular in spoken English, or we may say in informal English. When we are talking or especially writing in academic English, we don't use contractions. Then, after using the auxiliary and the negative form, we use the verb in base form and the complement. Finally, let's have a look at the question form. Did you go to Bordeaux? Did they pack warm clothes? Did Sarah take pictures? What can you see here? Again, we have the use of the auxiliary. And as mentioned before, whenever you have the auxiliary, the verb goes back to its base form. Go, pack, and take. The structure in this case would be the auxiliary did in the first position, then the subject, then the verb in base form, and finally the complement only when it is necessary. Don't forget to add the question mark. To sum up, remember that we use the verb in past only for affirmative form. The auxiliary did is necessary in negative and question form. Whenever you use did, the verb goes back to its base form. These are the three main aspects that you need to remember about the simple past. And remember, practice makes us better learners. Thank you for watching.